Excellent. All right. Well, welcome to our July meeting where things are wacky. It's the middle of the summer, and so I think that lots of people are traveling and there's a lot of things going on. So I'm hoping that we'll have probably a short-ish meeting tonight. I don't have a ton of material, I have a topic for this month and then a couple of updates. It's celebration. So hopefully you have printed your celebration tracker sheet and you're tracking your sales on there. Hopefully you've set a goal for celebration, whether it be a personal goal or whether it be a business related goal or whether it be, I loved Candy's post today, sort of like, what are you doing right now? Like in Stampin' Up world. And it could be getting organized. It could be starting to plan your Christmas cards. It could be taking stock of what you have, which is really important. So like I realized the other day that like I'm low on a few different card stocks. Maybe you're taking inventory for the sales tax holiday that's coming up. Like how much adhesive do you need? All the adhesive, by the way, but great opportunity to buy adhesive without that tax on it. For me, it was also like I needed more baby wipes, and I went to HEB and I found the yummy smelling Bluebonnet baby wipes. And then I bought a lot of them because they smell really, really lovely. If you have an HEB near you and you like scented baby wipes, those Bluebonnet ones are pretty special. So, wherever you may be in your journey right now, celebration is, live and running. I see a few people this month are already way ahead of the game. Patsy seems to be trucking right along, and Jill has great sales already this month. And there's quite a few people who are, working really hard and working celebration for max benefit because they put this money out and it's free. I mean, like you're earning rewards that you can redeem later, which is a great opportunity. Most of us hold on to the rewards until the new spring catalog comes out, if you can hold on that long. But it's a great opportunity to, get some free stuff from celebration and also get some free items from the post celebration rewards that were given. So we did a mail-in shoebox swap this month, and I have my packages. I've got one from Melissa, and I got one from Elena with a sweet note, and I got one from Patsy too. And I got mine out, so hopefully everybody's getting their shoebox swaps. We have an album to post your shoebox swap in, and I hope that you guys have a lot of fun putting them together. That's gonna be something I tackle today or tomorrow. Here is mine from, it's a little library fold. So boop, boop. I love that little book fold or whatever. And that's just that little butterfly cut out from the DSP. He's so cute and actually not hard to cut out. So that was really nice. The DSP is really fun. I still try to stick to some monochromatic colors, but and Orchid Oasis is still my favorite new in color, by the way, so hands down. So beyond celebration, the one thing in celebration that's already sold out is the soft sea foam and pool party note cards and envelopes. Those are gone, and they're gone. So there will not be more coming back in or anything like that from what we understand. So it's important to remember that
so fast, too fast.
I think what happened was a lot of people decided that a lot of demonstrators decided to build classes around it. And they ended up, because we love a good note card and envelope, and these were full size, which is also something that we think Stampin' Up needs to pay attention to, is that we like full size note cards and envelopes.
Yeah.
Not the weird sizes of Memories and More, God bless them, but the big and the tiny are difficult to deal with, and not the note card size. Like these were full size. So we think that it's due to Stampin' Up not being in tune to how demonstrators do business now. And so Janet Wakeland and a couple other leaders, we've been having a conversation in the leaders group about it.
That's good.
Yeah, and so I think it's good. I think that there's some opportunities for Stampin' Up to learn how we like to do business and how we like to package things. those note cards and envelopes were just perfect for a class to go or something like that, right?
I made a card for Saturday's class and used them. And I don't know if I can get my lighting to work very well, but I used the pomegranate.
Beautiful.
And did the gold embossing.
Whoa, look at that.
And did the leaves. It turned out gorgeous. I mean, that wasn't a set that I was like, oh, I gotta have it, you know. I just got it because I hit the qualifying. And that turned out super cute.
I think that it's one of those things, like Stampin' Up, the way that we do business now is different than how Stampin' Up was ever intended, you know, like that was not how they thought.
Well,
you know.
and didn't they plan this like 2 years ago? Like, aren't there cycles about 2 years out?
Yeah. So, I mean, although product ordering was probably about a year out, so design was about 2 years out. So, I think that, you know, it's important for us to remember that celebration is while supplies last. So, if there is something in celebration that you like, it's really important that you get it. And we also know that things that are not stamps are not made here, which means that if it's a consumable like paper, then it's going to come from China, and most likely there's going to be a limited supply. So I think it's important to remember that especially with consumable items, versus a stamp set is going to be there. And so, you know, if you're going to hem and haw about getting a celebration item, hem and haw about the hippos, don't hem and haw about the ringed in nature paper, you know. And the gold and silver paper is very, very pretty. I think it's completely undersold right now. I know Jill's been using it on a bunch of samples and swaps and stuff. And so it's beautiful when you add color to it. So, you know, definitely something to think about if you're looking for, you know, alternatives. Yeah, it's kind of where we're at, right? In terms of, you know, supply and demand and shipping and ordering and inventory. So I was surprised at the speed, that's for sure. And we think it's because larger demonstrators were placing very large orders and getting a lot of them to bank on having classes to go with them. So we'll see. But we still have a lot of other really nice rewards, and the stamp sets are really great. And you're going to see a lot more samples, I think, with the stamp sets over the next couple of weeks on Pinterest and Demonstrator Planning Place and stuff. So it is World Watercoloring Month, which is exciting. There's a nice video that has like 7 different techniques that Stampin' Up has put out. So if you haven't promoted that video, it's on YouTube. It's really nice, and it includes watercoloring with like chalks, which I didn't know you could watercolor with the pastels, and just a few techniques that even I didn't know, which I kind of consider myself to be a watercoloring aficionado. So I was like, all right, cool. So that's great. And then next week on the 27th at 4:00 Mountain, so convert that for yourself, there's going to be a watercoloring demonstration by demonstrators on the Demonstrator Planning Place. So if you're wanting to have some fun and you've got a little bit of time, it'll be on Facebook. So I'm 9,000% sure it's going to be recorded and it'll be available later, but if you want to catch it live. So we got a couple weeks left of World Watercoloring Month. And so maybe, you know, if you haven't featured a video or a project or something with watercoloring, it might be a great month to do that. So I wanted to make sure that you guys know that if you have a personal Facebook page, you can post about Stampin' Up, and you can post your cards, and you can, I think Crystal Stone does a great job of posting Stampin' Up on her page, but in a really non-selly kind of way. Like she just kind of shows what she's doing and how she's, you know, how she occupies her time. You know, if you want to show a technique, or you want to, you know, you could put an occasional post that has like a hostess code or a link, but you can't be doing it consistently. If you want to do it consistently, then you need to have a business page. And when you do have a business page, you want to make sure your posts have a link or they have somewhere to go to buy, right? You don't want to be like, look at this pretty thing, and then not give people a place to link and connect and purchase. So if you are doing that, just make sure that you're not frustrating people by not leading them somewhere. If people have to ask you questions, then most likely you're going to lose out on a sale. So you just want to make it easy. So that's one of the things I wanted to talk about today, was just how to make sure that your social media posts, are doing what you want them to do. Chad actually came on, and I think tomorrow in the updates, you'll see an update to the social media training that Stampin' Up has provided. So they have in the Stampin' University, under running your business, there is a social media tab, and there are it's called under there, it's called Grow Your Business, and it has how to use Instagram, Facebook, Pinterest, and YouTube to grow your business. So they actually created separate handouts with tips and tricks for each one of those areas. And so I think it's really great, like best practices for posting on Instagram, tips to increase and engage your audience, turn followers into customers, taking it to the next level. Like they really, they put a lot of resources in here, and they've updated all of the social media training for today's social media. The social media training that we had before was a little bit outdated. And so everything has been updated. And these are really, really valuable tips. So I would highly, highly encourage you guys to check it out. Even if you just want to know a little bit more about Instagram, but you're not on it, or even if you don't want to do your business on there, but you want to know a little bit more about how it runs, or you're thinking about YouTube or whatever. For me, YouTube is just a place where I put my other videos from Facebook, and it's actually turned out pretty well. My goal, was to hit 100 subscribers last year, and I did. And then I've already hit 200, and it's only halfway through the year. So I'm super excited. Yeah. So, it's little goals, little things, but I think you might be really impressed with the new social media training that Stampin' Up has put out. So
I'm curious about Instagram. So I've been watching Kylie Bertucci, and she's been doing like not fast forward. Instead of slow motion, it's fast motion. Do they talk about any of that in there? Because I'm like clueless on this fast motion stuff.
Yeah, so there's you can do for Instagram, there's an app called oh gosh, Marianne knows the name. I always Hyperlapse.
Hyper what?
Hyperlapse.
Okay.
I'll type it in the Zoom chat. So they don't talk about specific things like this. And I think that this is interesting. So last week there was a training, and there was a lot of questions that, like, demonstrators want to know, just tell me exactly how to do it, right? Like they want, like, give me the step-by-step directions. They don't want general things. So
that's what we're used to preparing.
I know.
Step-by-step directions and
I
card making,
It's so interesting. And so Diana Gibbs is talking about how she does her online videos, and people wanted to know, like, what's your mount? What's your camera? How do you angle it? How do you, right? Like very, very specific things. And that wasn't what she was directed to talk about. Like she was giving a presentation. It was actually a really cool presentation. If I can find a link to it, I'll post it in our page, because it was about pivoting your business post-COVID. And it was really interesting because one lady posted and she said, I went all online and I'm staying all online. And one lady discussed her presentation. She said, you know what? I'm kind of half and half, and I'm okay being half and half. And then the other lady said, I never went online. I'm from Texas. We just spaced ourselves out. I ain't ever going online. You can't make me. It was hilarious. And it was hilarious. But it was so interesting to see that they, were able to take that and go, okay, well, here's how I've adapted, and here's maybe some changes I've made, and here's how I'm going to move forward. And so it was a really nice, timely video on like how to move your business forward post-COVID. So it was really good. And I went to it live because like they had asked, I think they had sent out an email or something that said, you know, register for this. And so I was like, yeah, I'm sure, why not? It actually was a really good presentation. And I'll find the link for it for sure. But because sometimes I feel like there's so much information, it's hard to find what you're looking for. But yeah, I think that those types of things, like if you ever see that and you want to know, like, Melissa, how do they do this or how do they do that? I've done some hyperlapses before. You have to be, I don't know, you have to be really good, like in one fell swoop. And I get a little too nervous and then I like freak out and then I like mess up somewhere in the middle and then I have to retape the whole thing and then I get really irritated. And anyway, so like I've done a few of them and then I get frustrated and I move on. But it's a really good thing for us to kind of learn these different, oh yeah, perfect video. Okay, Kim, that's good. Perfect video. Kim, I might have you talk about that. What does perfect video do?
Okay, so perfect video is free and you record whatever you want and then you go into it and you can choose segments to like speed up or slow down or speed up. So you don't have to do it in like one go. And if you do it and like you know, mess up or get interrupted, you can cut that segment out as well and like stitch together like another video. You can add in like text over the video, like, you know, text. You can add music. I want to say I ended up paying for like the premium ones. I can remove their watermark, but I don't remember it being too horrible. Like it was probably less than $10 for that. But it's pretty good. I've done like a bunch of different like videos on it. So yeah. And it can do vertical or horizontal videos.
That's good because I know hyperlapse only does vertical, I think, because it's made for Instagram.
Made for Instagram, yeah.
Yeah. So that's problematic when you want to go post it on YouTube later because it's like oriented weirdly. And then people on YouTube are like, why is it so tiny? So that's good to know. So cool. All right. I'm always looking for easy things, you know, so we want to make this easy for sure. So good. Awesome. Yay for new tools. So yeah, so I did think that the handouts were helpful, especially for beginners. And I think, you know, the thread behind them all is be consistent, right? Like if you're going to post on Facebook, be consistent. If you're going to post on Pinterest, be consistent. If you're going to post on Pinterest, make sure that it actually leads somewhere, right? Like you don't just want a photo on Pinterest. You want that photo to lead back to a set of directions or to your Instagram profile at least, or somewhere, right?
So let's say you take a picture, and I did that with my Bluebonnet pictures, but I have like nowhere to really go with that except for maybe my Stampin' Up website.
So you could post it as a resource on your Stampin' Up if you have DBWS, right?
Yeah.
So that's one option. And you can actually put directions there. You can link it to a shopping list, right? So I think that coming back to DBWS, like if you're paying for DBWS and you're not using the resource library and building resources into the resource library, you know, you're putting a little bit of money out on the table that you're not maybe necessarily getting all the money back from. Like, and so, you know, I would say DBWS and that resource, and I can show that. Let me show real quick, because I think that that's a really important way. It's a good way to feed people back to where you are. So if you're on your DBWS, manage my DBWS, and I know that Terry had asked me, how many months do you get for free? If you've never used DBWS, you get 2 months for free as a new demonstrator. And it doesn't have to be your first 2 months as a demonstrator. It used to be that it had to be your first 2 months as a demonstrator, but now it's just the first 2 months that you subscribe. So it could be your 6th and 7th month or your 8th and 9th month or whatever. But on your DBWS, you would go to business and you would go to resource library. And then under your resource library, you have this My Files section. So in your My Files, and I'm not super great at this. Like I do this, I've been doing it at least once a month, which I feel like is better than none. So like we're going to go with good. Could it be better? Yes. Okay. So what I do is I post a picture of a card, and then hello, and then the card itself, then for me, I have it attached to a shopping list.
Yeah.
So that then when I pin this, like if I pin this to Pinterest, which I don't think I've pinned this one, so this is fine. When I pin this one to Pinterest, then it's going to give me an opportunity to post it. Let's put it on the Christmas one because, you know, because that's important. And now I've saved this pin to my Christmas board. And now when people come to that, they're going to be able to, they're going to be able to come right to do this. Huh?
Oh my God, you have so many tabs open. I was trying to figure out where you saved it.
Oh God, yeah. I saved it to my Christmas board on my Pinterest.
Okay.
I know I have a lot of tabs. There's a lot of thoughts going on here, guys. So if I'm in my Pinterest, then if I go to, whoop, whoop, no, I don't want to edit my profile. My computer's like, what are you doing? You're making me struggle.
I'm freaking out. Go to all pins. Yeah, that's easy.
There it is. All right, and there he is.
So when you click on that, it just takes you right to your DBW bus or what?
Right, exactly. So when I click on this, so they click on it. Now this is what a customer would see. So a customer would see, and I can include a lot more text here. So I just said this card was so fun to make for our July to December on like Hello Launch. I probably need to go back and edit this and put a link to the launch video because I have a link to it now. So that if they wanted to go see how to make it, but it has a shopping list for it. So that's one way to do it. The other way that you can pin on your Pinterest page that's pretty painless for me is from my Instagram. So that's something I've been trying to do because I realized that I was putting a lot of effort into Instagram and I wasn't doing much with it. And so now if people click on that, at least they get to my Instagram, right? So that's nice because I'm getting some more Instagram followers because of it. So when you're on Instagram, you can share too, and then you can share it on your phone. You can share it to Pinterest. So I figured this out on my phone.
That's really cool.
Yeah. So now I'm like, okay, I just need to be consistent about every time I post something on Pinterest, then I need to go ahead and share it. Or when I post it on Instagram, I need to share it to Pinterest. So like you'll see, I'm probably a couple of things behind, right? Because the last one I posted was like maybe this or something, you know?
Let me ask you a question, because I was trying to do a post from Facebook into Instagram. Do you have to do that through the business suite?
No, you have to go from Pinterest. No, you have to go from Instagram to Facebook. You can't go from Facebook to Instagram.
Oh.
You have to start in Instagram.
Okay. Because I was like missing the filters, and it's like I really wanted to filter something and I couldn't filter it in the business suite, but I didn't check out Instagram first. So I was doing it via Facebook.
Right. Start in Instagram. Oh, no.
Okay.
Start in Instagram, then post to Facebook.
Okay.
And that's what I do. And then the only other thing I'll mention on social media is getting a link tree. So you're limited to what you can link to in Instagram, right? Like there are no active links when you post on Instagram. It's really frustrating. And then you can only have one link in your Instagram profile, but you can get a link tree and you can get it for free. You just can only have so many links. So this is my link tree, and you can go to I think it's like linktree.com or something. You can Google this. And then I have like my top 5 kind of like, you get 5 buttons for free. So, and you can switch them. So you can like, so like right now I've got my holiday catalog paper party, but like you could, you know, when there's some other great promotion or deal or something, but I have my YouTube, my paper pumpkin, my online store, and my team here. So, so that's nice. And then I guess now they can subscribe to your link tree, which is kind of wild. I didn't even know that was an option now, but, so that's a cool way to, and Linktree is not hard to, it's not hard to manage. It's literally like, you know, like dragging and dropping. So like I can show you Linktree real quick. And once you set up your Linktree, if you don't do things like what I'm doing, like having these like links that are like kind of specific for classes, if you just have like really generic links, you literally could like set it and forget it and not come back to it, which is probably the smarter thing to do so that you're not always having to like go in and like deal with stuff. So I can just turn this one off because like my holiday catalog paper party is already done. And then I've got YouTube, Paper Pumpkin, online store, join my team. I even had buy Girl Scout cookies for Marianne on there for a while. So I had like her link to buy her cookies. I don't know if that helped. I don't know if anybody ever clicked on it. One click, there we go. But oh well. And then you can drag and drop these. So you can like move them so that people can find them easier. And it's easy to make these. So just you know, you can add a new link and then all you do is give it a title and like, what are we linking to? Is it a Google form? Is it, you know, whatever it is. So anyway, yeah, so I think, you know, one of the things that they talk about in the social media training is like kind of master one and then move on to the next. I had a lot of Pinterest action in the beginning, and I've kind of ridden on that for a long time. And so my my number of followers on Pinterest is pretty high because they come from, I developed that years ago, like before I did YouTube and Facebook Live and stuff like that. Like Pinterest was a comfortable place for me. But now I realize that like I need to come back to Pinterest because there was a couple of years there where I didn't do anything on Pinterest at all. So, but you know, mastering one and then kind of, you know, working your way through the others is, you know, a good idea. So, it's getting really dark here. So, but I know I've been trying to conserve energy, but I might turn on a light in a second. Questions so far, thoughts, ideas, comments? Let there be lights. Okay. It was getting really dark. Okay. So last month, in the month of June, we had 2 people over 500. We had Sarah and Terry. So yay, congrats to them. And excited about that. And then for the month of August, our team packets are going to be the calendar cards that we've done before. So I know it feels early to be thinking about that, but in the past, we have done like thank you cards for our customers. And by the time we get to December, there's no time to make them. So maybe if we tackle them in August, Kim can get them out before like March or April. I don't know. No, that was hilarious. That was amazing. You know, it's better late than never is always my philosophy. But so we're going to do calendar cards. So I'm going to look up a few new styles of calendar cards to teach you guys. I had a couple of different styles last year. One of the ones this year, someone did a cute magnet that went on the fridge. So it's not really a card at that point. And then I know there's one that's really cute that has Post-it notes, that holds Post-it notes. That's a little different than the one we did last year. So I'm going to do a couple new styles of calendar cards. So if you want to do the August team packet, we're going to focus on customer calendar cards. And then I'll be in charge of the September packets for Southern Sweet Stampers. So that'll be like, you know, I'll do the packets for that meeting and they'll be for both meetings. So just FYI for the September meeting. And then
Do we know what that is yet?
We do not.
Okay.
But the minute I find out, I'll let you know.
Okay.
And then we have, in terms of like team and what we've got going on, we have a shoebox swap here in person. So for those of you in Texas, we've got that next month. And there's a few people from our team and a few people that are totally not from our team are coming. Like Michelle Cox is coming from Copperas Cove, which is really exciting. And she's not on our team. I haven't seen her in a long time. Michelle Brownstein is coming from San Antonio. Like it is going to be a party. And I'm excited to have some different folks that are coming to that event. So that'll be really fun. We have our, I have my retreat in October that is filling, which is great. I will say that if you haven't done a Facebook ad for an event in a while and you felt like it didn't work in the past, give it another go. I advertised an event 2 months ago that Susan and I did, and we had a lot of other people interested in the event that have never seen our stuff before. And then I did a Facebook ad for this event, this retreat, and I have had more people register, RSVP, ask questions. Like I am shocked at the interest. So I think Facebook has like really honed in on their target audience work. And I have seen better results than I've ever seen before. And I'm not spending more money because that's one of my things. Like I hate spending money on
How much do you usually spend?
So I was actually going to look this one up. I think I said $25. So if it's a bigger event, I'll do 15 to 25 is kind of like my target range because I really don't like spending money on on advertising. It's not my happy place. But I will say that this ad has gone very, very well. And I'm surprised. So I was gonna look and see where is my ad center. I'll look and see how much we've spent on this one already, because you know, I had such good luck with this last one. Susan Rutherford and I talked about it. I was like, you know, yeah, my full budget is $25 for the retreat, and I've spent 19, and I had 5 people register that I have never heard from, like, don't know them. Like I was like, okay, welcome.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Like, and a couple of them are demonstrators, and a couple of them are not, and people all the way up from Dallas, all the way down to like San Marcos. So, I mean, I picked hot spots on the map along 35. Like I kind of mapped myself out on 35, and I did a little bit of like heat mapping to make sure I got all the way to like San Antonio and then all the way up to Dallas. But, so, if you haven't done Facebook ads in a while and you want to toss $10, $15, I think it's $1 a day is like their minimum. Like that's what they recommend. And then I've done like $10 on some things, $20, but I would say 10 to 25 is like my max. And we did $28 for the one that Susan and I did, and we got really good response from that one. So, but it had been a while. Like I hadn't run ads since last August, and I feel like they weren't very effective then. So, is that boosting your event on Facebook? Yes, it is, Melissa. And I only boost events that I know I can eat that cost. Does that make sense? So like if I'm running a really cheap card class, I generally don't boost it because I don't have a big enough budget to absorb that cost. That's how you found me. Oh, it was with that poppy. It's that poppy class, wasn't it, Melissa? It was with that poppy home decor one. Yeah. And I did boost that one. You just never know, I feel like I've had the most loveliest conversations with a few people over the past couple of days that are like, I don't know anybody, but I'm coming. And I'm like, cool, we can't wait to have you, you know? And one other lady was like, she was like, I'm hoping my friend will come, but if she doesn't, that's fine. I'm coming. I was like, okay, welcome to the retreat. We're happy to have you. So yeah, it's been good. And I think that I think we'll have a good crew there for that. So, and then the only other thing that's kind of coming up in the life cycle of the year is registration for OnStage, which will be in November. And I'm trying to get kind of a count of like our team and who'll be going to Arlington. So if I message you directly about that, I'm just going to go and message each person directly because then I'll have a nice final count and I'll know where you're going and which direction you're headed and where you're going to stay. But then I'll figure out if we need to reserve a house. I think Candy is probably going to have to reserve a house. I think Darlene's probably going to have to get we're going to have multiple locations. I think Susan Rutherford and her team are going to do a hotel. They want to stay in a hotel. They don't want to stay in a house. So yeah, everybody's got a different vibe, right? So, but I'll reach out to all of you guys individually and just kind of get your RSVPs and work on building a list for Arlington. And if you're not going to Arlington, you're going to another location, I hope you have a lovely time as well. But yeah. And then the leaders have Backstage, which is in New Orleans at the end of August. So that's Silver Elite and above. Sarah is going to that, Cheryl, me, and Candy. So the 4 of us are going to that. So we'll make sure we bring back any, good training or anything that we hear there. So, and then I'm trying to think if there's anything else. I don't think there is. We've got a beautiful August paper pumpkin with the sunflowers that I think is just going to be stunning. And I'm looking forward to those little gold hive pieces. Those will be fun to play around with. And I got one of my paper pumpkins, but not the other one. Sometimes, so I order 2 every month. And sometimes I get both of them at the same time. And sometimes I get one and the other one trails behind a few days. So fingers crossed that the other one's still coming. Only 1 month did I have it just completely disappear. So, but it is a pretty one. The ocean one is really pretty.
I do have a question.
Yeah.
About the paper pumpkin. I'm not sure I understood correctly or if I'm signed up for the right thing on paper pumpkin. But you had said on the last meeting that you couldn't sign up for multiple paper pumpkins. And I've been able to go on and change my quantity. So I'm curious, what do I have that I don't have?
You can do it if you're not on a prepaid subscription.
Oh, okay. Okay. That's what I didn't catch last time.
That's the booger.
I have a subscription. What is she talking about?
Yeah. So if you have a prepaid subscription, you can't get multiples of the same month. Which is really weird. And so if you don't have a prepaid, then yeah, you could buy 20 of the same month. It's a really weird limitation on the prepaids. And so like if I wanted to get, I have one prepaid under Marianne's name and I have one prepaid under my name, right? I have 2 separate email addresses. Hey, Patsy. But I, if I wanted to get a third one, I would have to make a third account in order to get a third one. Anyway, so the prepaids is where that causes some consternation.
That makes sense. Thanks. And then one other thing, it's a funny thing. I thought this was for pen marks and pencil marks. You gave it to us at retreat. And I didn't find out till I watched somebody's YouTube video that they were erasing with the sticky stuff like glue. It's adhesive eraser. I'm like, that's what that is. That's why it doesn't work with my pens and pencils.
Oh my gosh. So I know, yeah, at one retreat, I gave away, there's a eraser that has like a white end and a gray end, and that's for pencil marks because the gray end has like a little bit of grit.
I have that too. And
yep, that will erase. Yeah, that is not for adhesive. That is for pencil marks. This is the adhesive eraser. What's funny is I had an adhesive eraser. I can't find my adhesive eraser. And I gave all of you guys an adhesive eraser. And apparently I didn't keep one for myself. I've had an old one from Stampin' Up from like 9 years ago. I can't find the darn thing. So I'm going to have to go. It does work great for adhesive. Yes, you need a cheese square. You know what, Kathleen, you can get them in bulk. They're really cheap. I'll buy another set and then I can hook you up. I think they're like $1 when you buy them in bulk or something. They're not expensive, which is why Stampin' Up stopped carrying them, because they couldn't sell enough of them because they last forever. Like they get gummy and then you pull an end off, but like they literally last forever. So I cannot find mine and it's driving me crazy. Anyway, that would be a good door prize giveaway. Yes. I was like, I like it. Good. Okay. I'm going to make a little list for door prizes just real quick. Let me get to my wheel of names. If you have a fun project that you want to show off, remember you get an entry just for being here. And then you get an entry for showing off a project. So Jill, you showed off your beautiful pomegranates, but I wish if the lighting was better, will you show it again for everybody? Because it was really pretty.
Yes, I just turned on. Well, now I really need the light. So let's go back to that.
I'm going to spotlight you or pin you or something.
Oh, God.
There we go.
Okay.
Oh, Melissa,
So
that's right. Your camera's not working. Sorry.
I have 3 projects,
Ooh.
3 different cards that I did for Saturday. And one is the, whoops. One is the, let's see if I can get that a little bit better. This is the pomegranate with the envelopes and cards. And so I don't know, there you can see it maybe a little bit better. I did the gold embossing on it. On the not rich ravelberry, but the other one, Blackberry Bliss.
Can I ask a question about the leaves? Are the leaves just stamped once, or did you stamp those in multiple colors?
2 different leaves. So one is like the bigger branches, and there's a pair that go like this, and that I put in a lighter. So I used Old Olive and
Mossy Meadow.
Pear Pizzazz. I used something lighter.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
I didn't use mint. I used Pear Pizzazz, and it worked out super well because I was trying to match the blue and use that one, and it just didn't work with Pool Party. I just was like, ugh. So this combo worked the best. I like these little things. I thought about doing them in Versamark and embossing them. That would be cool, but that was just a little much with having.
Did you do them in like crumb cake or something?
Yeah, in crumb cake. It turned out real nice.
Very nice.
The other one I have is from the hippo. The pomegranate was my design. I cased this design. Super freaking
so cute.
adorable. I love it with the bubbles. I actually mixed some retired in there, and I have the blue ones left over, but they were all done in iridescent rhinestones. It's just so cute. This paper is from the Hostess Celebration. So I jacked a couple sheets to use that, even though I'm using it for that Christmas planner. But this is just super cute. Oh, there's that paper again, the silver one. And I just did a blue blending brush, and that really brought out the color better in the iridescent rhinestones. They used like a galvanized gray with blending brushes. And I'm like, no, let's put a little more color in it. And so that worked out real well to die cut and blend that. So that was just super fun, super cute. And I have one more.
You have to post these on the group.
Okay, we'll do.
Yeah, because we've got a little celebration.
All right,
challenge.
so this, and I haven't posted on my Bluebonnet Stamper. I'm like way behind. All right, so this is the other part of the hippo. This came from a German demonstrator. And so I had to look up what the sentiment meant. And so here we go with all the little fun little gizmos and gadgets. So I die cut all those out, kept all the filler pieces, and then I took a marker and colored behind it. And I used the regular Stampin' Right markers, not the blends, so they wouldn't come through onto the card base. And so that's how I got the coloring behind it and put it on dimensionals.
Oh my
And all I did was little dots with the marker on the blending tip side, the brush side. And it's just stinking cute.
That's
absolutely adorable.
So cute.
Those are my 3 projects.
Yeah, the Germans have been going crazy with the hippos. So on demonstrator planning
awesome.
place, yeah, the Germans and and the hippos are they've really gone wild.
Yes, they have.
Like one of them posted something. I was like, oh my God, that's so fussy and it's so tiny, but it's so cute. But
That was, that was a little intense for my group, but they got through it. They're like, yeah, I probably won't make it again, but it is adorable.
yes, that's
Glad
like
to have it. Glad to
one
have it.
yeah, one time, love it and done it. So
Yeah.
awesome.
I mean, I'm like, okay.
Well, I see Nancy's here too, so I wanted to acknowledge Nancy's here. She's on our team. She's actually in Wimberley, so every once in a while she comes to a meeting. Nice to see you, Nancy. So anybody else have a project they want to share? Elena, you've just been producing up a storm.
Oh, I have stuff, yeah.
Yeah, let me
So,
see. I'm gonna
okay,
pin
now
you.
don't get mad because I did mix some old with new.
It's okay. I won't get mad. Oh, you've really been loving that paper, haven't you?
Oh yeah, and the ladies in my class, they don't purchase from me. They don't want catalogs. They just want to buy my cards and come to my class. So I didn't have a sentiment that worked with my design very well. So yes, that is an old one, but at the new
Okay.
sentiments inside, and it goes well.
You know, you use what works, you know. So
but they loved it. They thought these were just so gorgeous. And the other one we did in class today, which also had an old one on the front.
Oh, but that's a great sentiment. I love that one. Yeah, the tree is really nice.
And then that's the sparkly green.
Mm-hmm.
And they had so much fun doing that. And then they did. And then
the
on the inside.
So I love that
sentiment. They love that. And even though they don't purchase from me, one of them says there's going to sign up and do paper pumpkins, and that might be exciting if she follows through. I don't know.
Hey.
Cool. So these are just mine for home.
Beautiful.
And this one is using all current.
Beautiful.
I think that's all the sparkly ones.
I think that's the first time I've seen the tree die cut out of that swag paper. That looks really nice.
Well, it was also die cut here too.
But that's not the swag paper. See, I like
the paper, paper part here.
The DSP, like you die cut the tree.
This isn't my design. This was somebody online.
Hey, it's okay. Whatever.
The rest of them were my design, but somebody came up with something similar to this, and I was like, oh yes, let's use the DSP that way. I like that. So
it's beautiful.
Then I was just having fun this weekend, and I wanted to play with old
stuff.
I
love that. I love that sentiment.
And then I did some fall with some of our papers.
Kathleen, aren't you happy that buffalo check ribbon made it back? You know, big hearts from Kathleen.
I actually sold one of these today.
Nice.
Also buy cards from me, so at least for my
Oh, nice. That's nice. I like that. Well, that's it. Okay, I'll show you guys. I did my paper party. So I'll show you some of that. Let's see. Can I pin myself? I think I can. Pin. Here. Oh, hey. I was like, hey there. Okay, so I did my paper party, and so I was just playing around. So that paper is from that Celebrate Everything paper. And then I used the little pocket die, and I made a little gift card pocket for the inside. So if you haven't played around with that little gift card pocket thing, it's pretty fun. So that one was really simple. I cased you, Elena, so the highest compliment. So I simplified because, you guys have 27,000 layers and I prefer something a little faster, but love this paper. It's so pretty. It's so shiny. And then let's see, I have to keep these in order because I'm teaching them in order. Oh yeah, I did purple. I like to, Candy's always inspired me to have a purple Christmas card. I know, purple bling bling. That paper is shiny. It is something else. And then Patsy, I cased you. Look, see, I'm casing all my friends because, you know, we must. I really like the bows that this ribbon ties, by the way. Like if you haven't played with that ribbon, that's a fun one. And then case the catalog because, you know, we should always do that. So
Use the
I just-
pencil up in the corner.
yeah, so I just kind of rolled it. I've actually been rolling it. I have something thinner like this. It's like a paintbrush and it's even smaller. So I've just been using like a paintbrush to kind of roll the paper. And then I use that really thick ribbon. I think this is really all you can do with it. Like, honestly, it's so thick, tying it in a bow. It's not really ribbon. It's like rope almost. Anyway, I don't like that one, so I'm not showing it to you. Sorry. Yay, the gnomes. Got to love the gnomes. Love the gnomes. They're so cute. And then, oh yeah. This one's fun. I kind of cased Darlene had done a design. What's cool about this one is this die is so weird that it has these slots, but I was excited. I was like, ooh, I can stick the candy canes through the slots. So, and then you make the candy canes longer by cutting them in half in the back. So, because they're kind of shorty candy canes, by the way, they're not long. Just did a little, this is very purple too. So yes, that paper is really pretty. Oh, and then I cut the little Santa and so he's and then I did some of the velvet, that snowy velvet paper here. So he's like riding on the snow. So if you open it up, there's just a little piece of velvet paper there, but he's so cute. Yes, and I like the laughing deer in the background. And then I use the new punch. So there's that trio punch that you can do the cool. So Elena's got it. She used it for that other one. But I was trying to figure out what to do. There's a third punch in that set. So it's like let me show it. So there's 3 punches, right? There's like the cool decorative edge. There's this like blunt edge. And then there's the little hole punch. So the hole punch is easy, right? For ribbon or whatever. This makes the really cool decorative edge. And then I didn't know what to do with this. And I puzzled and I puzzled. And then I decided I would just make a card with it. So my card, I actually punched the whole thing. So it actually makes like this kind of crazy cutout, which is kind of cool. So I just literally shoved the entire card in there and punched it. And then I got this kind of cool edging. So I think this is my favorite card out of all of them, which is hilarious because this would be my least favorite paper. But, you know, all about being like, I always feel like when I have a punch, I'm like, I must use all pieces of it. And then I did that torn thing, that whole torn paper look that everybody's like all jizzy jazz into. So I did that on this one. I thought that was cool. So, and I actually took, so I used the same like paintbrush, but there was really bulky here. So I just tore some of the paper away so that it wouldn't be so bulky. So I know, Melissa, I was holding back too. That's hilarious. Why were we holding back? It's so cute. It's so fun. And it's an easy way. Like you're just tearing your paper. No big deal, you know.
How much DSP is behind that torn? Did you do the
So-
whole thing or just part of it?
No, only a little tiny bit.
Okay.
So that's nice because then you can be conservative with your DSP. So this is that fancy DSP. So I didn't want to use like a whole bunch of it, you know. So it's actually a really great way to conserve paper. So because I was like, ooh, can I get away with less? And I'm like, yeah, you can't see it. So anyways, those were my cards that I did for my paper party. And that'll be on Friday. And then Thursday, we have the Better Your Best, which we will record for the team. So just no worries if you can't make it. I think we have 12 people coming who qualified, which is crazy. And so everybody should have their packets and we'll be making a set of projects together. I've already sent out the PDF. If you didn't get an email, check your email. Oh, good, Melissa, I'm glad you got yours. I'm always worried about like getting it to like my far reaches, like, you know, my Kims and my Terrys, right? Like, so Kim, I don't know if you've gotten it yet, but check the mail. Let me know. Yes.
I did get it in the mail.
Woohoo! Yes, you're my like my litmus test. Like if I can get it to you, I know I've gotten it to all my regions. It's interesting on Pirate Ship. It shows, you know, the different regions or whatever, and it's like literally your region is like the farthest. It's like if I was sending it to Maine or something. I don't know. But yay, that's good. Awesome. Yes, congrats to everybody. I'll be running it again this quarter. So I'm going to run it each quarter. I like it. I like running it quarterly. I think it's a great thing to do. I think it's great for us to look at how to better our best. And I like doing it on a quarterly system. I think it's a really great way for me to reward you guys and us to have fun. So I've already got my plan for what my next one will be. So my head is already, I'm working ahead, guys. It's wild. I've never been this organized ever. So to review, we're doing calendar cards. This month's challenge was the SAB samples. That's going to run through the end of the month. So at the end of the month, I'll close that and I'll run a drawing to pick for the SAB samples. And then the other challenge is to design your $1 million stamp set. Now, it can be chicken scratch. It could be some words typed up into a Word document that you took a picture of. It could be that you go and you find some old stamps and you're like, you know, I really miss this sentiment, or I really want this, or it doesn't have to be, you know, you don't have to have amazing artistic skills. I will say that Marianne is very inspired by this challenge and said that she will be creating her own stamp set in Canva, and I will be allowed to share it with the team. So no stealing ideas from her, and no, you can't hire her to make yours. But I just died laughing when she got so excited. She was like, ooh, she's like, I want to make it. I'm going to design my stamp set. I know exactly what I'm going to do. I'm going to do it on Canva. She got all excited, y'all. It was really cute. So you have until the end of the month to do that too. I'm probably just going to sketch some ideas out on a piece of paper and I'll post mine. So it could be a catchphrase. It could be something you say. It could be your favorite Bible verse. It could be, you know, images that speak to you. Like Marianne said, really wants to do like flowers, like daisies, you know, she's got a whole theme and thing that she wants to do. Ankle bracelets. I don't know. It's going to be like a 13-year-old fever dream, but you know, whatever. But you want it to, someone looks at it and goes, ah, yes, like Patsy's probably would have a flamingo in it, you know, just saying. So, yes, so design your $1 million stamp set. You still have time. We'll share Marianne's when the time comes, when she gets it done. Are you done with that? Have you done it? Oh, she hasn't even started. So, but she's alive and well. Here she is. So, but yeah, so we've got that going on. And then next month, so you can kind of tune your minds to it, we're doing a monochromatic challenge. So we're going to work monochromatics, and we're going to do organization. So sharing how you're organizing things, and maybe you know, or maybe how you're not organizing things, or maybe it's just inspiring you to get organized. Marianne's very excited about both of these challenges. So I can send her to your house. She can come organize you. Patsy's like, sign me up. So that's where we're going to be for next month. I just wanted to let you know. And then next month, the training is going to be about, it's called Eat the Frog. So just to pique your interest in coming to next month's meeting. And we'll talk a little bit about email lists and how to manage an email list and how to keep in contact with people. So hopefully you got a lot out of tonight. I'm going to stop the recording, and then I'm going to see if anybody else has any creative projects they want to share before I do the drawing. Then we'll do the drawing, and then we'll stop the recording. Anybody else? I know lots of people are traveling and are out and about, but I know it's busy times. Okay, all right, hearing no objections. I shall run the wheel of names. Let's do this. All right, share screen, share, wheel of names it is. All right, here we go. Dialing once, dialing twice. So this month I have 2 giveaways to give away. Jill, congratulations. I shall remove. So Jill, let me show you what I have. So I have the very pretty new rose gold and white ribbon. This is like a thick striped ribbon. This stuff is really, really, really pretty if you haven't played with it. I also have the natural finish ribbon. So this is what is on back order until August 22nd.
Oh, that's not the natural woven one. That's
right. There are
that's
2
the one you can stamp on, right?
Yes.
I want that.
Okay,
I want
great.
that so I can play with it. Yes, please.
It's gorgeous ribbon. It ties beautiful bows. It's wonderful, but there are 2 natural ribbons right now, which is complicated. So
Yes.
all right. So then let's go back and we will draw another winner. All right, here we go. And dun, 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 dun. Kim, woohoo! So Kim, I have 2 other choices though. Hold on.
Okay. Ooh, thank you.
Yes, I was like, I also have some of the 21-23 in color rounds. Are these the ones you won last time?
I think so. They look really familiar.
They do look familiar. And then the other choice is the glossy dots, which I don't know if you have these. These are like the new, I don't know, it's like purple, great. It's like really bright colors.
I think I like the opal rounds better.
The opals. Okay, sounds
Yeah.
good. I will put your name on that and I will
Thank
get those to
you.
you. All right, Jill, Kim, yes, absolutely. And then I'll draw 2 winners for the SAB sample or I'll draw a winner for SAB and I'll draw a winner for the $1 million stamp set. You guys better make some fun contributions for that. Let's put our thinking brains on. And I was actually looking to see, I'm like, do I have more? Yes, I'm going to get some adhesive erasers and I'm going to make that one of our door prizes for next month because Kathleen, you need an adhesive eraser in your life for sure. So, all right, I'm going to end our recording, but thanks for joining. And I know that this month was a tough month because lots of people are traveling and stuff, but if you're watching the recording later, we love you and we miss you. All right, stop recording.